Good morning, Risk Raider fans, Red Raider fans, and this week, Masters fans.
Masters.
And boy, do we have a show full of fun today. We're going to talk about the Masters and everything that goes with it and the risk management pieces that fall into place along with that. Jeff, how are you this morning?
I am fantastic, Brent. It's going to be a great weekend. Masters weekend is always a good napping weekend for me.
Exactly.
I know nothing about golf, don't claim to know anything about golf, but this weekend I know everything about golf. I will be criticizing the golfers. I'll be wondering, why the hell did you hit that shot? When me personally, I can barely get it off the ladies' tee, and I'm just going to be honest with you about it. But I think it's going to be a great weekend. This Sunday is also called No Men at Church Sunday.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, there's nothing happens till 4, guys, but I got to go watch the Masters. So, ladies, enjoy the church services this weekend. Yeah. It's going to be wonderful for you. But, honey, this is the only weekend.
Yeah,
just enjoy the break. They just should enjoy the break.
Turn it on till 4 o'clock, but they're like, I couldn't go to church today.
Yeah, I got to go watch hole number 4. No, you don't. But anyway,
Amen corner.
Yeah, I don't want to miss anything. You're going to miss something.
That place, let me tell you something. It brings the greatest golfers in the world to their knees. And at times, I was watching some highlights last night, and Bryson DeChambeau 3-chipped out of a sand trap, and I thought, that looked like me.
That was fantastic. And you know what's funny is, like, when you said that, I had no idea what you're talking about. And I'm just going to nod through it and go, man, that sounded pretty good to me. But he got out in 3. Probably not good for him. Hey, I got a little treat for you. Got a little treat for you.
He wanted to throw his club in the water, and he didn't. That's the hard part. These guys are on TV, so they can't say bad words and throw their stuff all over the course. So it was pretty humorous, I'll have to say.
So today, ladies and gentlemen,
frustration.
I can't wait to hear it. So we're going to blend the Masters golf tournament with risk management. You don't think it could happen, but by God, it's going to happen. It's going to happen today. But I got a little treat for you, Brent. I want to see if this works. Okay. I'd like to do a little our little disclaimer a little differently today. Okay. Let me make sure I have this working. Hold on. Let's see if this works. Can you hear that?
Here's something.
Hold on. What happened?
You have technical difficulties.
We have technical difficulties. Hold on, everybody, because what's going to happen is I'm going to edit this out. This was working so well earlier, and then you know what technology does? Messes you up.
Right when you're going to show someone something, it won't work.
Hey, this is really cool. Not really. You got it? Here's our disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen. On a quiet corner of the insurance world, where lost runs grow wild and safety manuals go unread, 2 men step into the tee box of risk management history. Welcome to Risk Raiders at Augusta. At least the closest thing you're going to get without a cease and desist. Today, under the towering ponds of questionable decision-making, we're joined by our 2 champions of coverage and common sense. First, a man who has starred in the soul of claims reporting and has lived to tell about it, your co-host Jeff Shropshire. And along with him, a gentleman whose natural habitat is somewhere between lost control visit and a dad joke, the co-raider of risk, Brent Borgstadt. As they walk these sacred fairways of deductibles and exclusions, a gentle reminder for all of our patrons listening at home. What you're about to hear is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's not legal advice, it's not tax advice, and it's definitely not a promise that your next claim won't slice straight into the woods. So your policy is your scorecard and your agent is your caddy. And before you make any big insurance decisions, please consult someone who actually knows your numbers. And now, with the risk raked, the hazards marked, and the premium fully paid, we invite you to settle in. Turn your phone to silent and enjoy another gentle stroll through the dangerous, beautiful, and occasionally ridiculous world of risk raiders.
I come speechless. I don't know what to say. That's the best thing I've ever heard. That's hilarious. It's so fitting.
My favorite part of the Masters is the intro.
Oh yeah, the music.
When it was
where they pan through the course and all the Azaleas, and that's what I was going to talk about for a quick minute. You know, I love Azaleas.
Jim Nantz doing that thing. I'm just like, I'm in. I'll
like
watch
butter.
It's like butter. It is. I didn't do it justice, but you know what I mean?
The place is beautiful. I mean, I don't know about I've never been. When we used to, one of the carriers that we represent, you represent them too, they used to be the big sponsor.
Yeah.
So for a number of years, my dad got to go with them, and he told his quote about the place was, "There's not a pine needle out of place." I mean, he said to say that it's immaculate, it doesn't really do it. I mean, they just literally curate every square inch of that place, and it is just perfect.
They say it's phenomenal. I have not actually been in the gate. I've been outside the gate. We were driving down. We were driving up from from Lubbock to, believe it or not, Myrtle Beach, and you get on I-20 at Sweetwater, and you literally go east until I-20 dies on the East Coast.
Till you fall in the water.
Yeah, but you go through Georgia, of course, and you go through Augusta. And we did go over and drive over, and it's very hard to see anything of the course. It's weird because the way it's set, there's houses and stuff around it, and it's really not even like that immaculate. But then if you could, certain areas you could peek, and it looked like a whole nother planet. I mean, it wasn't bad around there, but you're right. Kind of the perfection was a little chilling. I mean, and they were just normally playing. It wasn't the tournament or anything. But my gosh, can't imagine the stress of the greenskeeper of this weekend. Because this is all everybody talks about. Like, hey, if there's a pine needle out of place, right? It's you, dude. My God, look at that.
Can you imagine how long you've got to work to get a shot at even being a guy raking the sand traps?
No. Are you staring at that yet? Did you see where, like, Satan's sister gave me a French kiss overnight?
Trying not to look at it, but it's jumping out of the screen.
Yesterday morning, I woke up and I thought I had a volcano going on my lip, and I'm like, what happened? What happened? And
I don't even want to know what that is. I mean,
well, they're going to tell you.
Thoughts going through my head, but it's
a herpy. But it is. That's what they're going to say. It's a herpy. And, I was like, well, that's perfect for the show. And it's not like Augusta. No, this is not the perfect face. It's a herpy face. But no, not that place is amazing. Yeah, we never went. But, we were talking about it. And you go, well, what in the world does risk management have to do with Augusta? And I'm going to tell you
tons of stuff.
Can you imagine putting on this show? I mean, the security.
I can't even imagine what they're dealing with there from a standpoint of, first of all, the thing I like about it is they have rules. And not only do they have rules, they enforce the rules.
Yeah.
If you pull out your phone as you're not supposed to do, you're kicked. No questions asked, no matter who you are. Like that, was it Mark I can't say his name. One of the guys, I think he was a previous winner maybe of the Masters, certainly played in it. They kicked him straight away out of there.
I mean,
he pulled out his phone and they were like, nope.
I mean, that's a serious deal. I was looking at it. We pulled up here some of the little rules in it. So no phones, no running. I mean, that crowd control. I mean, we would never make it.
We would be kicked away.
We would never be able to make it because, it's just that silence for me is just like an opportunity because, I'd have my little fart thing. I'd have something and it would be funny.
Say something.
But yeah, you have to say something. I mean, but though, when you really do think about it, the thing is well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it kind of has to do with everything, like your businesses and stuff, because we all have rules in your business, right? And we're not going to go deep into the woods on this, but you all have business. You have cell phone policies, you have distraction things for your drivers, you have all that stuff. But it goes to show with them that if you set those standards so high, and like you said, they booted that dude out, right?
Yeah, they weren't kidding around.
Yeah, so who's going to pull their phone out next?
No one. I guarantee it'll be several years before they have a problem with that again.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like you kind of compare like the Masters to the disaster, like Caprock. What is the waste one? I don't even know what it's called now. They have the waste controlled golf tournament. They all joke about this one because this is where it's like the Happy Gilmore tournament. Do you know about this one?
No, I don't know.
I think there's some waste management company that sponsors it. And I mean, it's known for being outrageous. And they kind of
let dumpsters on every hole.
Well, they let the fans go a little crazy with alcohol. They kind of,
they don't enforce the rules.
Well, they broaden them. I mean, it's one of those things.
It's wide open.
It's wide open. And, the funny thing about it is, I don't know how the golfers feel about it because I'm not really a golfer. But, I mean, the whole idea is like this is wild, crazy. The fans are crazy. They're going to get a little bit more drunk on the course.
They can let people shout out things they might not normally.
Yeah, maybe. I guess. I don't know. But, the thing with it is, even though some folks like it and they go, that's going to breed. They've had problems after problem. I mean, they're really risking a lot of things about people getting hurt, getting injured. And you go from that reputation, and you could do this in your business. If you operate a business where they could go, oh, working over there, they're kind of loosey-goosey. They're not as strict. They're not as this. But I can guarantee you when you get into the risk management insurance world and you look at how much they're paying for their insurance, they're paying a lot. And the reason why they're paying a lot is because it turns into claims, right?
Man, they've had a loss run problem, or they have losses that are just extreme because, when you're almost inviting it when you don't enforce the rules, you're almost, making a joke of it. Like, oh man, people do whatever they want. They're gonna.
Yeah, you got to test the
Stuff's
rules.
gonna go wrong. I mean, it's just not gonna go well. I mean,
and everybody's trying to create a viral moment. Everybody's trying to create something to where they post it online and they get a like, they get a shot. Yeah, that's the other thing too. You can get in so much trouble with videotaping in places you shouldn't videotape. I mean, I guarantee you that's one of the reasons why they don't have the phone thing. Yeah, it's all these things, but there's rights, there's copyrights, there's trademarks, and they're going to stick by those rules. I guarantee you they're going to enforce them too if they see something on there.
And you don't want to be sitting there watching somebody on the 18th hole putting and there's somebody's phone rings. You know how dumb people are about not having their phone turned off. I mean, every meeting I go to, about halfway through, somebody's phone starts ringing. Why is it? Let me ask you this question. Why is it that the guy who doesn't know how to silence his phone have the dumbest ringtone in the history of mankind? It's like a sound effect from I can't even think, but it's something like the old phone, like the old phone ring, the rotary phone ringer, and you're like, dude, come on.
No.
And they can't even find it to turn it off. It's like in their pocket and it's going off and ringing and ringing and ringing. The speaker's looking at them, everybody's looking at them, and you're like,
yeah. And how does that guy get a ticket? I mean, he's smart enough.
How does he get invited, right?
He's smart enough to get right there on the 18th hole, but he can't turn his phone off. Yeah, that's a planned thing.
That's why they have to do it. It's why you have to have rules. If people are dumb and they're just not going to, I don't know. But it's an incredible tournament, though. And, I love Azaleas. And so when they come in with those sweeping shots, of course, Azaleas are already bloomed out by the time the tournament starts, I would imagine. But still, it's a beautiful place. And I would like to go, actually.
Well, I mean, they should invite us. I mean, we've already said I would behave. There would be no show from there. We would go completely technology free, and we might broadcast like at the steakhouse down the place. But anyway, I'm just going to tell you, we would be the perfect people to go because we would appreciate. I'd be walking around seriously going, how they do it. How they do it.
They've already had problems with their celebrities turning their cars over and stuff.
That's a problem.
Prior winners of the tournament.
It's just hard to get to the tournament.
Not following the rules that they should, like don't drive when you're impaired, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I don't even get that one. Why do you, if you have billions of dollars, why on earth would you be touching the steering wheel of a car ever?
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem, and the situation I have going on in our personal life, where we're dealing with a lot of pain meds, we're dealing with a lot of stuff. And boy, you start finding out how serious this stuff is, and what it does. And then the addictions though that people get to it, I'm going to tell you, it must be so strong. It's kind of hard because I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't he be driving? But the thing is that he's just like everybody else, I mean, you get to a point where you forget or you just make bad decisions. That's what we're talking about. Is that maybe you're late, maybe your driver didn't show up, maybe you just said, God, I just want to drive one time myself. And you just make that mistake, and then it turns into, for him, it's national attention.
You know what he said? He actually answered the question, and I read about it. They asked him, they were like, dude, what on earth? And he basically said, I can't have a driver because I don't want somebody knowing what I'm doing. In other words, he has a privacy problem, and I get that. I would imagine people that he hire always want to write a book, like 5 minutes after they work for him. They want to write a book and make a bunch of money. So I'm sure he has a difficult time finding people who not only will sign an NDA, but will actually stick to it.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that is a problem. Now, I don't say that justifies what happened, but I sort of get that. I suppose when you're a celebrity at that level, privacy is a super difficult thing.
Yeah, so he made a quick, rash decision that he probably shouldn't have. And so when we kick it over into risk management, people do that all the time in their business. They don't want to slow down. They don't want to run background checks. They don't want to do all these things on the.
They want to enforce the rules.
Like in trucking, man, it's so hard. Like to get drivers. Everybody's needing drivers, and the insurance carriers have put so many restrictions on it. And that these guys and gals who own these companies, they got to have drivers, and we all need them to have drivers. And then, you just that one time you're like, God, I just got to get, or you got a church who needs a volunteer and we're trying to take the kids to camp and we don't have time to run all this stuff. And it's just that that quick decision where you bounce off of this plan. It would just like be the groundskeeper at Augusta going, do we need to spray Roundup over here? The answer is yes. And the answer with these other things, you gotta stick to it.
And you gotta stay with the plan.
Stay with the plan. It's a hard thing to do, and we all screw up on it, but you can pay for it. I like this idea about Augusta. I think it's the standards that you kind of set. It's these kind of standards that you set around your business, and you set these sort of standards, even in the customer things. But they call let's see, what did I read here? It says, call their fans patrons? They call them,
which is a little different concept.
Yeah, it's a whole different concept of than just calling them customers. They're going to call them patrons, and I think that is also creating an expectation for their customer patrons, as well as for everybody else who walks onto those grounds, about how that law is going to go down, Well,
and they're not kidding around. Not only they kick that guy out for using his phone, but like if you do something stupid, you'll never get tickets again. I mean,
you're
like
done.
You're banned, kind of like the same problem I had at IHOP in Lubbock. You're done there. You're not coming back. There's no coming back.
No, you became a Denny's guy, I think, after that. You were a Denny's guy.
Yeah. That was Mr. C Subs guy after that.
Brent would like to apologize, and by the way, Risk Raiders is no longer at all affiliated with any of these companies, so don't call us. Thank you. It's a true story. He did it.
Yes.
It did it. It was funny.
But they're not kidding around, man.
No.
Seriously, if you have tickets, like out of their ticket thing is a whole different thing too. But if you mess up, your tickets are canceled and goodbye to you forever.
Yeah.
And that's how they make it work. I mean, people know when you step on the grounds, you better behave yourself.
Yeah.
Because they're not joking around.
And and their employees know it. And that's why when you look over into a business or whatever, you have your hiring, you have your firing, you have your employment manuals, you have your policies and procedures for bringing people into your company. You have expectations for how they treat your customers. And I'm going to tell you, they set a really good example there. And the thing is that if they were selective, for instance, if they said, hey, you guys are risk raiders, you guys can,
y'all can do whatever you want.
You can bring your phone because we just want to be on the show. And I get it, but we would have to go, no, patrons don't do that. We're patrons. But that standard, though, we wouldn't even think about it. Man, you'd be walking on those grounds like your hands in your pockets, walking, marching.
Man,
and you know what? And you don't see people dressing like crap at these. So the other one that I was talking about, their T-shirts, it's sloppy. That's really what they try to do. This one, no, everybody's in their fine attire.
Yep.
You're walking straight. You're staying on the cart path. But it's amazing, though, that if you bring those sort of conjectures into your business place, too, with employees, with customers, I mean, that helps you stay on the path of staying out of trouble. Because I mean, they're going to have problems, but not near as many, right?
No, because like there, you know what you're getting into. And so people, I think, come there with a mindset of I'm going to behave myself. You know what else is really cool there? Supposedly,
let's hear it.
My dad who's been said the food is really, really good. Like they have like the best pimento cheese sandwiches and stuff like that. And it's not expensive. It's not like going out here to the ballpark and a hot dog's $5. It's not like that. The sandwiches are like $4.
Oh, wow.
And they're delicious. And so it's almost like you're lucky to be there.
Yeah.
Food's good, nothing's expensive. And so I think it's all part and parcel of the follow the rules, enjoy yourself, but follow the rules.
Yeah,
not kidding around.
And create that aura that, we want to because golf, they want to have fun. They want this to be special. A business wants to give good service. The people want to have referrals. We want the best employees to come work for you. And the way you do that, man, is exactly what these dudes do at this Augusta National. Because, can you imagine what it's like to go through an employment hire with them? I mean, you know what I mean, though?
Can you imagine what it would be like? I can't even imagine.
I mean, I would love to. We need to, God, that'd be a great guest on the show. Well, I mean, I know that they're busy, but it would be extraordinary to hear. And we're going to have some people for the next of the year. We're going to get people on to tell us kind of how they do it. But man, they must do an amazing job of that because.
And I would be willing to bet a lot of don't you think a lot of the people that work the event are volunteers?
I'm sure they
guessing.
are. I'm sure they
And
are. But
people are probably
how do you
lined
manage
up
that?
to do it.
Right. So if you're a nonprofit, you have all these people coming in and doing all that stuff. I mean, this is an example of how you can bring people in, weed them out, have them fall into your culture, and then provide what's really most people do consider the or one of the most high prestigious, fun sporting events in the history, because it's been going on for so long and it stayed so consistent.
Well, I
That's
think you just hit
pretty
the nail on
impressive.
the head. Create a culture of good behavior and risk management and following the rules, and you're going to have a lot better luck than if you have a culture of waiving the rules, ignoring the rules, and people doing whatever they want. Bad things are going to happen. I
Yeah.
mean, I know bad things can happen even if you're following the rules, but it's a heck of a lot less likely.
Yeah.
And
You know, if a
you
golfer
just get
goes
some
out there,
standards.
from what I understand, if a golfer goes out there and he says or she says when they're playing golf, I'm not going to go to the practice range. I'm going to sleep late. I'm going to do all those things. The odds are you're going to slice one off into the woods like I normally do.
Golly, I'm telling you, that place is unforgiving.
Yeah, it's that discipline, you know, that you see from the players. It's a discipline that you see from the people who are putting on the show. It's a discipline, I mean, from the gallery. I mean, if you want to model your business and look at an idea that how do I do that, do you need to study this model, because these folks, they get it. Because that's what we're talking about.
They're not fooling around, and
No.
they're definitely taking care of it. I have to tell you, I was watching some of the highlights last night, and these are obviously the best golfers in the world,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And they were struggling. I mean, they were having a hard time, and the course apparently dried out during the day, and so the putting was really fast and difficult at the end of the day. And man, it was funny. It was funny to watch really good golfers who normally probably own a golf course, right? They power through it
Yeah.
and hit
It's their backyard.
drive the green and all that. And man, this place is not like that. And boy, they were really frustrated and not landing their ball. And I think the landing areas are, it's just, the whole thing is very difficult. And you've got to hit the most perfect approach shots. And then the putting is just a nightmare. I mean, you watch them putt and it's like going like this and, oh, it's going off the green.
Okay. I have a little bit of an issue with it, because I'm like, look, they play in basically perfect weather conditions, perfect golf courses. Now they're styled. I get it. The design's a certain way. But can you imagine if they had the Masters out here in West Texas? I mean, it's like, you want to show me how good you are. I mean, it's a constant.
It's like 60-mile-an-hour wind.
No, it's a constant 20-mile-per-hour wind. I mean, it's because we're up here on the mountain with the wind blowing, and
on
that
the
means
Cap Rock.
Right. And then, it's sandy soil. And I want to see it come out. You don't have the golf courses. There's some really beautiful out here. They have some great courses, but they have some trickiness. But I'm going to tell you, I'd love to see these guys come out.
You know what my
it's
favorite
like in the
part
spring,
of golfing,
and that haboob starts coming in the background.
Yeah. You know what? The funniest thing about playing golf out there in Lubbock, especially, is that most of the golf courses have cotton fields right up to the edge of them, right? So I always used to joke, you've got to be able to hit your ball out of a cotton field, and that's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a normal sand trap or anything like that. It's got a plowed field, and you got to try to find your ball, first of all, in a cotton field when there's lots of white things out there, and you're like, where is that damn thing?
Yeah, see, have them try to find their ball. That would be great.
Yeah, it's a mess.
The caddy out there with the little hoe digging it up.
And the wind. Man, you got to have a knockdown shot out there for sure, because, like you say, the minimum wind is 25 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a good... So when they go, he hits the ball really straight, I'm like, you don't have a chance here.
No chance.
You either have to hook it into the wind or slice it into the wind.
Yeah.
And so we're probably the only place where you go, okay, we're going to play golf today. Pull up the weather. Which way is the wind blowing? Yeah, today's a slice day for me. There is no straight ball.
No.
When the wind...
And you hit it up in the air and it literally goes up and just...
I've seen the wind blow a ball off of a green.
Oh, yeah.
It just goes...
Yeah, literally.
They're just sitting
that
there.
was laying on the green. Yeah.
I want to see them come out here. So if the PGA or Live. How about Live? Why don't y'all come on out and let's try something new? Let's play out in this is the real desert. The other desert, that's manufactured stuff. This is the real desert with real wind. And then I want to see how good of a golfer you are. And I'm going to tell you what, there would be no press conference after that. Can you imagine the cursing? It'd be like, what the is going on with the I mean, it'd just be constantly going. Guys would lose their mind.
I have to tell you, though, watching those guys struggle last night, it was refreshing because I really don't have a golf game of any kind. I quit the game several years ago just because I can't even.
I had to. I don't have time.
It just wasn't good for me. I mean, I'd hit 1 or 2 shots a day that were passable. The rest of it was just ugly.
Yeah.
But it was funny watching those guys struggle, though, because these are great golfers, and they were having a hard time. And it's kind of humorous. Like I was telling that Bryson DeChambeau guy, he chipped, I think 3 chips to get out of the sand trap one time, and I was like, that's ugly.
You were talking about where the greens dried out. I mean, we have minus 10% humidity here. I'm like, what do you mean? Did you have water in your green? That's not golf. I do think a Happy Gilmore a little bit. It is, man, but I'm telling you.
How you guys, we're the opposite here. Our humidity is normally nears 100%, and you guys are near 0. And I know when I lived out there, man, it was hard because your face was always dry. And
you get a herpes.
Your lips were cracked and bleeding.
It's herpes season out here in West Texas.
Yeah. Jump on your face, something like that. I don't want to talk about where that came from.
It's a rough night.
But yeah, it's really cool, and I do miss being in the hub, but there are some issues with some of the weather factors out there, like a haboob, like you said. Wow, if you haven't lived through one of those, especially when you're trying to. I quit wearing my contacts when I was out there because it was just not a thing.
If you're playing golf and a haboob comes up, what you do is you just go to the little beer shack. Yeah, you go to the beer shack and just let it drink through it. Like you go in there, it blows everything away, and then you go out there, pick up the limbs, and then you keep playing. Because that's just that's what I want to see from the PGA this year. I want a West Texas golf course. And then, you know what? Then I may pick up the game again. We may even sponsor it on Risk Raiders if they'll do it.
Yeah, we'll sponsor a
We're not afraid.
Event at the Rawls course. Of course, that's a very nice golf. Have you played? I've never played it.
No, I'm serious. We have very nice golf courses. And I will say this, to what it takes talk about the greenkeepers and the people in this environment, what they have to do, because we do have lush fairways. We do have, the amount of water, the amount of care, and with all the agriculture around, with the weed control. These guys and gals who do it out here, it's a real science, because there's some beautiful golf courses around West Texas.
It's the only place in the world where you have natural sand traps.
Well, actually, every hole, give it time, and you're going to have a sand hazard.
Up.
We have sand hazards.
The sand blows into place.
We're the only people who go out and they have to go out with the blower to blow the greens off.
Blow the sand off.
Everybody carries a blower in their bag.
I never forget. I don't know how long I've been. A couple of years I've been up there, and I was laying in my bed one night, and I was living in an apartment over off 4th Street, and I was laying in bed, and I was like, "What is that on my face?" I could feel the sand falling on my face.
It was this.
While I was asleep.
This. You had a herpes.
No. This was real sand falling on my face while I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, "What the?"
Means an angel got his wings.
Oh, man, because it was blowing a haboob outside, and the windows were not very good.
Well, that's called the West Texas baptism. We don't have enough water, so we just sprinkle a little sand on you. You're going to be all right. Go ahead. You'll be fine.
It's crazy.
It's good times.
Crazy.
Well, I hope everybody has fun watching it. I'll watch it a little bit when I need a nap. I'm not watching it all 4 hours, but anyway, I think it's a great event.
I usually turn it on about 3 or 4 o'clock and watch them come in the last, start on number 15.
Right.
Because 16 is the one with the big water that somebody that's in the lead always hits it in the water, and you're like, bye.
Yeah. See you next year.
That was Greg
You're
Norman's.
only going to win $5 million.
Yeah. Isn't that where Greg Norman's career went to die? On number 16. He was leading 2 or 3 different times. He's leading the Masters. He goes to 16, hits it in the water.
Here's the only thing I got to throw this out there. These guys these guys play in some incredibly tight clothing. It looks uncomfortable. I'm going to tell you what, when I watch golfers now, because when I grew up watching, I mean, like there was Fuzzy Zeller, there was all these guys and they were all a little sloppy. They had a little belly. They were characters.
Wearing slacks.
Yeah, and when the camera's not watching, they're like, we're over here. Because that's how they would check how the wind would blow. You'd be like, that's how they did it.
6-iron.
Yeah, but now these guys come out and they're in there. I mean, these they look like uniforms. I mean, these
they're buff too,
skin tight uniforms, and I'm like, how do you even move? How do you even swing? And then I'm like, the chafing, that's going to be a problem if you're not careful with some of that. I'm just like, it's a whole different deal. Golfers used to kind of be like, just bopping along and taking the shirt tail when the camera comes on. But these guys they're totally fit. But I mean, like,
oh yeah,
I just don't know how they even play with the clothing. I mean, it's just so restrictive. But man, they can hit the ball now. They can do it. So it must work. But I like fat golfers.
Very good.
I'm just gonna tell you, I like a fat golfer because. Like, it makes me feel better. And I'm like, if you can swing around that, I can watch your swing. But these guys that are so trim and that's not real to me. That's not real. That's like watching these Olympic athletes. I'm like, I can't do that unless it's the little scraper thing with the little ball going out. What is that? What did we just watch with the Olympics?
Oh, the curling.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
They can be fat and skinny on that. I like that. All right, I went off on that. I'm sorry. I had to because I don't get it.
We almost got off on a thing about curling. Did we talk about that back during the Olympics? Because, man, I really enjoyed the curling.
Well, you got to go back and watch curling in the 70s because there's a clip of a guy and they're wearing what the golfers used to wear. They'd wear like kind of the plaid pants and the golf shirt. And there's a video of a guy and he's the guy who's, brushing and he has a lung dart sticking out and he is smoking a bud while he's doing.
Well, I don't know if you know this, and I didn't know
class.
this until this time, but curling is a drinking sport.
Oh, well, can you imagine sitting around going, hey, I think we could get a broom and push that rock across the lake. Let's see.
We've already had a lot to drink.
Yeah, let's see if we could hit that other rock that's sitting out there.
But those curling clubs, they really got into it personally this time with some of these actual participants, and they're all members of these curling clubs, which are bars, I think.
Yeah, I can't handle that. I can't handle that. That's the same as the people who are professional dart throwers. It's not you're not gonna wing me on that. Sorry. No,
No, that happens in a bar.
All right, man. Hey, we've gone over time. Uh-oh. Google's calling. You're going to burn your bridge here with Google if you go over 30 minutes. Sorry.
All right. We get carried away.
I know. We'll start chasing other
sports. It was a great episode. It was a lot of fun talking about the Masters.
Yeah, I hope everybody has a good time watching it.
Everything's good. Hope you guys have a fantastic Masters weekend. I hope
Be the master of your domain.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, your house. Just take care of your house. It'll be fine.
We got to do a quick.
I'm gonna put my little guy on my hand. There he is, right there. Wreck him, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks for watching Risk Raiders.
See
like us on
next Friday.
LinkedIn and YouTube.